sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. 9 years ago this week was when I made the crazy, ridiculous decision to leave my high-paying job that I was basically mailing it in, and I was doing fine. I could do it with my eyes closed. But I'd created a toxic relationship with my business partner. And I was guilty of that. And it was something that I couldn't find a way out of. I didn't think I'd be able to realize that I wasn't going to be able to fix that. And that the only way I could fix it was to get out. And so I made a decision. It's interesting. I was 49 years old. And I made a decision to get out. And I really didn't put a whole lot of thought into that, what was to happen afterwards. I just said, I got to get the fuck out of here. This sucks. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. And I think in reality, too, I was depressed and have been dealing with depression for a long time. And that was weighing on me like a giant elephant in the room. And so I made the decision that I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore. I got to get out. I got to do something different. Like I say, with no plan. So I went home and told my wife and told her it was going to be okay. It was going to be fine. We'd figured it out like we always had. But then I couldn't stand it anymore. And God love her, she said, do it. I understand. You are miserable. Get the hell out of there. And I know that we'll figure it out. And figure it out we did. But I got to tell you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. It's the hardest thing I've ever put up with. It's the most scared I've ever been. It's the most financially, the closest I've ever been to complete financial disaster, and how it did not end that way, I still don't know. But I don't need to hang on that very long. I just want to share 7 things that I have learned, 7 big picture things that I've learned in the last 9 years that maybe can help you, save some time, or maybe help you make decisions in a different way. Learn from other people's mistakes, learn from their lessons, right? It's often cheaper than doing it yourself. Lesson number 1 is that excuses are like cancer. Excuses are like cancer. And I think, I don't know, I'm an A grade, A+ professional excuse maker. I find reasons to not take responsibility for things all the time. And what I have done is I've made it a point to look out for those things. I think for the first 34, 35 years of my life, I didn't even know the things I was saying were excuses. I just blamed, it was the economy, it was other people, it was my boss, it was the company, it was whatever the fuck it was. It wasn't my fault. It was my mean teachers. And then I got called out on those excuses by a business coach when he asked me why I wasn't making $1 million a year. And I said, well, it's the economy. Well, it's Columbia, South Carolina. Well, nobody's doing that right now. Anyway, he said, suppose I told you I thought that was an excuse. And it was like a punch in the face. And many of you have heard me tell this story before. And then he asked me, where else in your life are you making excuses? And I wept, because there are lots of places. And so excuses keep you from reaching your potential. Whenever you say, I can't do this because of some outside source, or this person won't call me back, or this person's been mean, or we can't do this because blah, blah, blah. And maybe everybody around you is saying the same thing. Maybe everybody else is saying the same thing. So it doesn't feel like an excuse, but here's the test I want you to use for excuses. If you can stay instead, I haven't figured out how to. I haven't figured out how to get along better with this person. I haven't figured out how to make $1 million a year yet. I haven't figured out how to, be a professional golfer. I hadn't figured out how to do that stuff, because I believe our words matter. I believe our words, when we're speaking out loud, we're also speaking to ourselves. And when you say, I can't, it won't, it'll never happen, blah, blah, blah. What you're telling yourself, you're telling your brain is, okay, fuck it. You don't think about it anymore. When you say, I haven't figured out how to yet, however, your brain goes, yeah, I hadn't figured that out. How do I do that? What happens there? Blah, blah, blah. And it's amazing. The chatter all of a sudden goes to, how do we figure that out? Now, do I come up with perfect solutions? Hell no. Does it help me though when I recognize and I take ownership of things? Absolutely. And that's one of the things I look for when I'm working with my clients is I'm listening for excuses because they probably don't even know they're making, right? That's my job as an outsider is to listen and say, hey, suppose I told you that was an excuse. And what I tell people all the time is if you want to change your company dramatically, instill this policy. Tell everybody in your company, here's what I want you to do. I'm an excuse maker and I want to stop being an excuse maker. So anytime you hear me making what you think is an excuse, I want you to call me out on it. I want you to say, hey, suppose I told you I thought that was an excuse. And here's what I want in return. I want to be able to do the same for you. I want to be able to say to you, hey, suppose I told you I thought that was an excuse. And let's do that without making each other, let's not take it personally when we do that. Let's use that as personal improvement. If you want to change the culture of your company dramatically, make that rule that you can call each other out on excuses that you're making at any level, right? That it doesn't matter what level it's, we're all equal as far as that respect. Excuses are like a cancer because oftentimes you don't even know you got it. You don't even know that's a problem. You don't even know you're saying it until somebody points it out. So look for the excuses that you're making. Lesson number 2 is that behavior wins. Behavior. What are the things you're doing every single day to grow your business, to grow yourself, to be better at being yourself, to be better as a business person? That means behavior, making calls to prospects, reaching out to people to go get new money. It means going to the gym. It means going to church. It means prayers, whatever it is on a meditation on a regular basis that you can do to make your situation better, active things that you can do. That's what wins. Hope sucks. Action wins, right? Have a plan, follow the plan, do action to grow your business. Take responsibility from that. It's not that that we're in a depression or whatever the hell people are calling this thing that we may or may not be headed into. It's where do you see yourself and what are you doing to fix it for yourself? Behavior wins. Number 3, be confident, but also be real, right? It's okay. I recommend it, right? To know in your heart that things are going to turn out okay. And you could have your confidence that way. Things are going to turn out okay. As somebody said, it's all going to be okay in the end. And if it's not yet okay, then it's not yet the end. And sometimes I was living on that thread. Right? But understand, be confident that things are going to work out. Present yourself confidently, but be real. And if somebody says, how's it going? You say, you know what? I'm working my ass off right now. I'm trying to grow this thing. And am I struggling some? Hell yes, I'm struggling some, but I have a feeling it's all going to work out okay. This shit about, oh, it's perfect. Couldn't be any better. I love this. I find when people start a new job, a new career, new whatever, they love to tell people for the first 2 or 3 months, I am so excited. I am so excited about this new job. This is the best thing ever, which is great. I'm thrilled for their excitement, but the person they're trying to convince is themselves, right? Be confident. Tell people, look, I'm starting out something new. I'm a little bit scared. I'm working my ass off. I feel like it's going to work out fine, though. I feel like it's going to work out fine. I think I'm in the right place. Number 4, you will learn who your true friends are because when you struggle, your true friends will stand up to help you. This begins with your family, right? How have you been supportive to them? Let them be supportive to you back. Accept help. When people want to help you, let them help you because your true friends will show up. And I had so many situations where I didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't think my business was going to go any farther. I had like 2 weeks of cash flow left until everything went under. And all of a sudden, one of my old friends from college in this situation picked up the phone and called and said, hey, I've got an event in a couple of months and my company needs a speaker. Would you come speak? And I said, hell yeah, I will. I didn't know it'd be alive or business in 2 months. And he said, how much do you charge? And I told him, and he said, we normally pay twice that. So why don't I pay you that? And I'll pay you half up front. Son of a bitch. Wow. I'm alive again, right? I'm back. your friends will show up. The people who care for you will support you. Let them support you. This is also a mention to you that when you see a friend struggling, help them. Don't miss that, right? Everybody's your friend when you're up. Who's your friend when you're down? Be the kind of friend that's with people when they're down. Next, number 5, slow and steady wins the race, right? Slow and steady wins. It means long term, do the work. Sometimes if you win an early victory, if you get one too soon, too fast, right up front, all of a sudden you begin to believe this is an easy task. And you think, hell, I'm great at this. I'm so good at this. I see this happen to salespeople all the time. They join a new career, get a new company, and all of a sudden they have a big win right up front. First couple of weeks, first month, first 2 months. And all of a sudden, and everybody around is like, holy shit, look, you're a superstar. This is great. And they start to believe their own bullshit. And they forget that anything worthwhile is hard. It's hard. And so slow and steady wins the race. Behavior. Do it all the time, every single day, every single week, every single month. Know that you will build over time. Success does not come overnight. You may get some quick wins. Good. Don't let that go to your head. Right? Next thing, investment in yourself pays off. Shit you get for free, that's awesome. That's great. If your company offers training, something like that, good. Go to it. Pay attention. Invest your time, invest your effort to make it work. But the best investment you'll make is when you write a check, when you give money, when you commit to something that will improve you, right? That can be a sales coach, a business coach, a trainer. It can be any number of things. It can be going to take a course, going to a seminar. It can be investing yourself to go to a trade show or an event of some kind where you can go learn and meet new people who can help you. Those are the things that will make the biggest difference when you make a commitment in yourself. And the last thing, and this is something that's hard. I talk to people about this all the time when they're starting over. You must put yourself out there. When I say out there, what I mean is you've got to get out in front of people and tell your story, ask their story, right? This comes through some things that may feel vain and crazy and scary, like putting videos out on LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok or all these things, right? Go and present your real self. Tell your story, share advice with people on the social channels, share advice with people, put it out there for free, right? Give generic advice, put it out. Let people know who you are and what you believe. And when you do that, the right people will follow you. The right people will come into your camp, right? And the people that think it's hilarious and that you're an idiot, who cares? They'll go away. Those are not your people. I had somebody tell me about a year ago. They said, Walker, you are too intense for a lot of people. And I said, that's hilarious. And maybe you're right. I'm too much, right? But those people I'm too much for, those are not my people. I don't care, right? Other people's opinions of me are not my business. My job is to go out, do my best in the world, take care of my family, right? And take my skills and go put them into the world as best I can and see if I can help other people while I'm doing that. And if other people don't like the way I do that, don't like the way how I show up, that's fine. I don't care. Turn me off, unfollow me, block me. I don't give a shit, right? I'm out there to talk to the people, right? And to visit with the people and to help the people that resonate with my message. And that's the same with you. Who is it that resonates with your message? Everybody else can fuck off. It doesn't matter. All right. So 7 things. Number 1, excuses are like cancer. Maybe you don't notice them. Get somebody else to point them out to you and stop making them. Number 2, behavior wins. Number 3, be confident, but be real. Number 4, you'll learn who your true friends are when you're struggling. So be that friend when you see your friend struggling. Number 5, slow and steady wins the race. Number 6, an investment in yourself will give you the biggest payoff. And number 7, put yourself out there. Do it in a way that makes you feel vulnerable and scared, but you're putting your message out there, and do it on a regular basis. Steady, steady, steady wins the race. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. You want help growing your business? You want help with your sales team? Reach out to me, walker@walkermckay.com. Let's have a No BS conversation. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to the OBS Sales School podcast. If you haven't already, please take 1 minute to write a quick review for the show. It really does make a huge difference. Also, subscribe to the show and please forward this episode to somebody else who needs to hear it. As a bonus for listening, I'm going to give you access to a free mini course, 7 expensive sales mistakes you're making and what you can do about it. Go to www.7salesmistakes.com and get access to the free mini course. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the OBS Sales School podcast.